5. Burnett's going to be short on the shot, but the rebound was actually in the hands of Browning, and he just missed the shot. He just could not get it. May have been partially blocked. Luckily, it went off the Goblins, and the Tigers will get a chance to drain the 3, and it will be drained by Jonah Barrett. He nails it from the corner, and the Tigers have the 3-0 lead. First basket of the game coming just under 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter. We're running a little bit late here, so if you're just tuning in thinking you're hearing the second half of the game, we are just started. A lot of long games today, but actually the last game caught us up just a little bit. Carthage basketball after the Harrison miss. Runner throws, ball almost intercepted, but Barrett comes up with it at the free throw line. Back out to Latham. He'll try the 3. It's off the left side. Running down the rebound is Browning, and then he throws it away. Browning will throw it right to one of the Goblins, and now Harrison on the run. They'll cross midcourt as Lawrence gives it to Graham. Graham bounces it to the high post. That goes in the hands of Sutton. He'll throw a hook shot in the lane that's no good. Carthage in position, good position, and now they've got a 2-on-1 break as Ray gets him from Barrett, but it's blocked by Magnus. And Magnus thought he got a clean block. I tell you, he did get a lot of ball, but they are going to call him for the foul, and we will have our first free throws of the ball game coming up. It will be Ray that has the free throws. Carthage with the early 3-0 lead here. While he's at the line, Cutter Morningstar took the 7th place game on the girls' side, beating Jasper 71-57. The girls' 5th place game went to Biola over Marshall 56-47. Game just completed here. Bergman with a 22-point victory over Harrison, 54-32. Ray makes both free throws for Carthage. Kind of delve into that a little bit because Bergman, a smaller school, but just about 10 miles north of Harrison. They very rarely play. They're just different size schools, but Bergman, who won the tournament here last year with a win over Branson, almost a whole new lineup, but very, very talented. Harrison coming in hot, but just cooled off at the wrong time. The Goblins trailing 5-0 here. Free throw line jumper. That'll roll in and out, no good. And it's Browning with the rebound for the Goblins. Outlet to Latham, who'll cross the timeline. 5-0 Carthage. 4:30 to go first quarter. Goblins still looking for their first point. And Carthage looking to build a lead, much like they did against Marshall here in the opening round. Shot too hard off the glass, missed by Barrett. Goblins have the rebound at cross midcourt. Carthage back quickly on defense. Graham has it left wing between the circles. Magnus dribbles to the right free throw line extended. Will give up the ball into the lane. On the baseline, Sutton will try the jumper, no good. Follow-up is no good as well. As the Goblins ice cold right now to Carthage, trying to capitalize. They go inside to Ray. Ray catches a very tough pass, but has his shot blocked by Graham. And now the Goblins will try again for their first basket. Won't get it again. Here's Tigers the other way. 2-on-1 break. Bounce pass Latham. Gives it up. And the shot good by Brunett. And Harrison takes a timeout. 3:42 to go first quarter. 7-0 the lead for Carthage. Let's take a 60-second timeout. Back with more Carthage Tiger basketball here on Music Radio 93.5. Back here at Goblin Arena as Carthage with a 7-0 lead. Dave Stoller takes the timeout, but Carthage has the ball back as Harrison misfired on the possession. So it's 7-0 the lead for Carthage, looking for more, and it'll miss. The shot by Barrett. Barrett had 20 in the opening round win over Marshall here on Monday. Was named the player of the game that they do here for the tournament. Misfires there. Harrison, though, still not on the board as we're now under 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. 7-0 the lead for the Tigers. Graham to the basket, and he'll get it and one. So the Goblins finally get on the board, and they have a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play. Cade Pesker will be coming into the lineup for Carthage, while Jackson Hill will do the same for Harrison. Graham's at the line, shooting the free throw for the Goblins, trying to get them to within 4 here after the Tigers scored the first 7 points. Remember, in the game against Marshall Monday, the Tigers scored the first 14 on their way to the big win over the Bobcats. Graham connects on the free throw. Goblins are finally on the board here at 2:45 to go first quarter. 7-3 the lead for Carthage with the basketball and Latham. Over to Ray. Passes it off. Cooper Jackson, the 6'1 senior, he checked in a moment ago as well. He is in the ball game. Mitch and Pesker in the ball game. He has the ball in his hands to the free throw line. Now goes right side. Burnett behind the back dribble. Dishes it to the outside. Pesker actually fumbles the ball but gets it back. Shot clock is down to 6. Down to 5, down to 4. After hurry, Latham in the lane. He's going to force one up. It does hit the rim, but does not go in. Goblins get the rebound. Now looking to go on a run themselves to get back in it. Graham between the circles. Over on the left side to James. Quarter to Lawrence. Now a quick three release is down by Jackson Hill. And just like that, the Goblins are within 1. Carthage scores the first 7. Harrison has the last 6. And we have a 1-point game at 1:50 to go, opening period. Tiger basketball. Inside Brunnett. Kicks out Pesker. He wants a 3 to answer. It is short. And the Goblins, after being down 7-0, get the rebound. And now they are shooting for the lead at 1:35 to go here in the opening quarter. Magnus on the left wing between the circles to Hill. Hill in the lane, kicks it out. And this is a 15-footer from Magnus that'll go down. And just like that, the Goblins have scored 8 in a row and have taken an 8-7 lead with 1:20 to go in the opening quarter. Now it's the Tigers that need a basket. Latham on the baseline. This is Pesker. Outside, 3 to answer is going to be off the mark. That one missed by Jackson. Rebound to Ray. His shot misses. And now it's Jack Magnus with the rebound. Down court to Lawrence. Shovels it into the lane. They got that covered and actually tipped the ball away. And Jackson will come down with a loose ball for Carthage. At 50 seconds to go here in the opening period. 8-7 Harrison on top. 3 to take the lead is good as Jordan Bruner now with 5. He has 5 of the Tigers' 10 points as Carthage takes the lead with 30 seconds to go here in the period. They're going to call a hand check foul, I believe, on Cooper Jackson on the drive to the basket by Magnus. So we told you what happened here earlier. Of course, this is the third-place boys game. Branson is playing Earl in the championship game of this tournament. That'll be the game following, and folks listening online at Mohawk will have that game as well. First off, Goblins going to get fouled by Bruner, which will send Cooper Graham to the free throw line. So Branson will play in the girls' championship game against Earl, and then it will be Van Buren and Bologna that will play in the title game later this evening. First free throw rolls in and out, off the mark by Graham. Tigers maintaining a 1-point lead. Arrow favors Harrison, so the Goblins have the ball to start the second quarter. Assuming we don't have a tie up between now and then. Graham makes the second free throw. Tiger lead is 1. 10-9 as we're down to 20 seconds to go. Shot clock off, and it looks like Nathan Morris wants the Tigers to go for the final shot of this period. Latham has it near midcourt. Playing catch with Jack Carlton, the 5'11 senior who just checked in. Latham, clock down to 3, down to 2. 3 is drained from the left wing by Jonah Barrett. Boy, he just stood there and stared down a defender to get it. and Carthage retakes the lead 13-9 as we go to the second quarter. We're back with the second quarter after this 90-second timeout right here on Music Radio 93.5. Second quarter underway here. Had a little clock mishap that we had to fix something before getting started. Harrison with the ball, but they turned it over, and Carthage has it right back. Just underway here in the second quarter. Tigers lead 13-9 over Harrison. Scott McCauley in for Jim Taylor, covering today's game for you here on Music Radio 93.5 through MoarkSports.com. Shot clock is down to 12. Ray in the lane. He avoids defender, gets the shot up, not able to get it. The rebound tipped right back to him. He'll try to get the shot in, no good. It's the Tigers all over the rebound, and it's Jonah Barrett that will get the put back inside. Barrett now has 8 points, and the lead is now 9. (15-9) as we're now to 6:45 to go here in the first half. Goblins missed the shot. Rebound ticked outside. Here's a shot for three. Left wing, that's going to be off the mark by Lawrence, and it's Carthage basketball. 15-9, 6.5 minutes to go in the first half. Kick back outside. That is Carlton. Carlton between the circles gives it off to Ray. 20 seconds to shoot. Here is a three. Henry Latham nails it from the left wing. Latham's first basket. And now all of a sudden Carthage has their biggest lead of the game after Harrison down 7-0. They took a lead, but then Carthage on a run now has got it back. This is an 11-2 run for the Tigers, and it's a 9-point lead. They have doubled up the Goblins right now. 18-9 and could do more as the missed shot gives Carthage the ball back. Carlton runs the floor, loses the handle though, and it's picked up by Harrison. Lawrence trying to go coast to coast, and he will for the layup. Lawrence gets the shot, his first basket, and that makes it 18-11. The Carthage lead to 7 at 5.5 to play here in the first half. Latham, top of the key, goes right side, and the three in and out by Jackson. Rebound to Goblins, but then stolen by Carthage. To the basket, Latham kicks it to Ray. Ray fumbles the ball, gets it back. He forces it up, and it is actually kind of interesting because he was off balance. That actually forced the Harrison defender to kind of try to adjust, and in the process, Sutton commits the foul. Ben Sutton fouls for the Goblins. First foul here in the second quarter. 5:14 to go before halftime. Ray will get the first free throw, and Landon Ray has 3, all from the charity stripe. Jackson is out of the lineup as Zane Browning will check back in. Jackson Hill also back in for Harrison as Ray gets the second free throw. Back to a 9-point Carthage lead, 20-11. Tigers up by 9 at 5:08 to go. First half in the lane. Trap, kick out to Magnus. 3 in the corner. Off the mark with the rebound to Ray. Outlet to Latham. Walks it across midcourt, gives it right back to Ray. Landon wants to go to the basket. He's actually double teamed inside, but avoids it. Gets the hook shot up, misses it, but then out battles 2 Goblins to get the rebound. Landon Ray has his first basket. And Carthage, Tigers have a double-digit lead, 22-11. 4 minutes to go here in the opening half. Ball fumbled by the Goblins. James gets it back. He goes to the baseline to Graham, and Graham has his shot rejected out of bounds by Ray. And it will stay with the Goblins with 21 to shoot, 4:32 to go here in the first half. Lawrence will inbound it. Gets it to the right wing. Between the circles to Hill. Lawrence up to the top of the key. Goblins are just moving the ball around. Tiger defense stingy right now. And ball lost out of bounds. There was a defender for Carthage that was there, and I think it was James that was trying to dribble or pass to the other side and just lost the handle. So the lead for the Tigers is 11 and could be more at 4:15 to go in the first half. 22-11. Tigers on top. Carlton shoots it down to the baseline. Latham with a couple of dribbles. Post up, shoots. Can't get it to fall, though. Kind of got sideways with the basket, and it bounced right over the rim on both sides, and the Goblins trying to take advantage of the miss. Graham at the top. Spins in the lane around Ray, and Ray's going to commit the foul. It's a pretty nice move right there by Cooper Graham as Ray was staying with him defensively, but he kind of spun to get out of his way. And kind of like the play at the other end a moment ago when trying to adjust, that's when Ray committed the foul. That will be, actually they're not going to get Ray for the foul. They're going to get Browning for the reach in there. He was there too, so they didn't call the body contact on Ray at all. It was on Browning, but that is his second. Graham misses the first free throw as Cooper Jackson will be coming in for Browning as he'll be on the bench with that second foul, probably for the remainder of the half. Graham misfired on the first free throw. On the second one, he will drop it down. Cooper Graham has 5 for the Goblins. 22-12. It's a 10-point Carthage lead. Tigers facing full court pressure. Ray has it on the left side. Goes cross court to Latham, who gets it across midcourt. Drives to the free throw line. Kicks it back to Ray on the left wing. And now they'll reset here. Shot clock's at 20. Latham now will try the right side. They're trying to post Ray up inside. Then off the screen, they'll give it to Barrett. He'll take a dribble and then airball it right in front of the basket, out of bounds to the Goblins at 3:20 to go here in the first half. Again, we got started about 45 minutes late. We actually picked up a little time in the last game, but the boys' games have been very competitive today. Both went down to the wire, and that's caused us to be a little behind schedule here. As we're sitting here about 20 minutes before the scheduled start time for the girls' championship. Obviously, that'll be a little late. Good move inside on the free throw line. That was by Jack Magnus as he was able to dip under a Carthage defender and get the shot to go. 22-14. The Carthage lead down to 8 at 2:40 to go in the first half. Ray over to Latham. Latham 3, and he'll drain it. Second basket of the game, both trays for Henry Latham, the junior. Tigers push the lead back to 11. Tigers almost get a steal, but Harrison picks up the loose ball. Lawrence gets it on the baseline. He'll fire it home, and he'll be up to 4. I thought he passed it, but then he actually faked it and then went to the basket. Carthage looks for the answer at the other end. Misses the 3. Rebound is down to Jackson in the corner. 3 ball is going to be an air ball by Carlton. Another shot misses, but then finally it'll be Jackson that gets the loose ball and the rebound. 27-16, Carthage back up by 11, under 2 minutes to play in what's been a pretty quick moving first half here. Magnus, high post, back out it goes to Hill. Hill on the left baseline now will go back out, and Goblins will rebalance here with 15 to shoot. We're down to 1:40 to go here in the first half. Lawrence hands it off to Graham. Over to Hill. Hill to the free throw line. Kick out three. A line drive no good by Magnus. And boarded by Carthage. 1:25 before halftime. Ray in the corner. Carlton to the free throw line. Graham kicks it back outside. Or that was Jackson, excuse me. Over to Barrett. Barrett will try the three. Nobody under the board for Carthage when he missed the shot. All Goblins, so they'll pick up the rebound. And Magnus will bring it across midcourt. At now exactly 1 minute to go before halftime. In the lane. Shot from 10 is going to be no good. Missed by Lawrence, and Carthage wants a quick timeout. And we'll take a 30-second timeout with them. 27-16. Carthage leads Harrison. 30-second timeout. And the final 53 seconds of the first half coming up on Music Radio 93.5. .8 seconds to go before halftime. As Carthage takes the timeout. Nathan Morrison wanting to set up something here for the final 53.8. First timeout the Tigers have taken in this ball game. And now they have the ball. They'll have to shoot it within 10 seconds, and it doesn't look like they're wanting to. It looks like they're wanting to hold to go to the end of the shot clock and then not give the Goblins much time at the end of the first half. We are down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. Game clock at 30 here in the first half. Shot clock down to 7. Off a screen. Pesker drives the baseline. Tries to bounce it inside. And the shot will be good. Just ahead of the shot clock by Cooper Jackson. Goblins will have a chance for the final shot, but it will be Carthage ball to start the second half. Down to 10 seconds to go before halftime. 13-point Carthage lead. Shot blocked inside. Follow-up is no good. Loose ball, and the follow-up is going to be good. Just as the buzzer goes off, and the Goblins are going to get really a gift. I'm not saying the call was bad because it wasn't, but it really is a gift as Magnus will get to the line, and he is going to get fouled after the shot. Now, they are going to put .5 up. But now the Goblins have a chance to cut the lead to 10 at the end of the first half. That Magnus can make the free throw. He does. And so we go to halftime. Our score, Carthage 29, Harrison 19. 29-19 is our halftime score. And stay tuned. We have the Music Radio 93 halftime show coming up after this 3-minute timeout right here on Music Radio 93.5. 29, and the Harrison Goblins 19. Scott McCauley in for Jim Taylor today. Neely taking care of pushing all the buttons back at Music Radio 93.5. Carthage led 13-9 at the end of one. And then 29-19 the advantage at halftime. But keep in mind, Goblins got that three-point play right at the end of the first half to cut the lead to 10. So we'll see what kind of factor that will play as we get ready for the second half. We need to take another 3-minute timeout. I'll come back in 3 minutes and we'll give you the scoring numbers here for the first half of this one. Carthage 29, Harrison 19. The Music Radio 93.5 halftime show continues in 3 minutes. Back here in Harrison as we have our final segment of the Music Radio 93.5 halftime show. Carthage leads 29-19 over Harrison. This is third place game with the Lyndall Thomas Classic. Jonah Barrett leads the Tigers with 8, 6 apiece for Henry Latham and Landon Ray, 5 for Jordan Brunner, 4 for Cooper Jackson. And I believe that is the scoring in the first half for the Tigers. Jack Maddox has 7 for the Goblins. Cooper Graham 5, 4 for Chance Lawrence, and 3 for Jackson Hill. Halftime score, Carthage leads Harrison. Third place of the Lyndall Thomas Classic, 29-19. 2-minute timeout as we wrap up the halftime show. We got the second half coming up next after this 2-minute timeout on Music Radio 93.5. as the Carthage Tigers lead the Harrison Goblins 29-19. Scott McCauley in for Jim Taylor today. And a big play here to start the second half. Goblins, or the Tigers, actually got the ball and took off almost the entire shot clock. And then as Landon Ray went to the basket, he got fouled and now is trying 2 free throws. He misfires on the first one. The foul was on Brody James, his second. Carthage starting the same way they started the game with Landon Ray, who misses both free throws. They've been perfect at the line so far, but misfires there. So the Goblins actually get a stop and try to cut into the 10-point deficit. But guess what? They're going to tie the ball up immediately as they get across the timeline. Of course, Goblins will keep the ball as Carthage just got to start the second half. Henry Latham, Zane Browning, Jordan Burnett, Landon Ray, Jonah Barrett line up for Carthage. 29-19, they lead it. Third place, Lendell Thomas Classic after Carthage beat Harrison in the title game here last year. Trying for a second straight strong showing here at this tournament title, and then trying to take third in back-to-back years in a pretty competitive tournament. That certainly would bode well. And we'll kind of explain a little bit about that as we go in the second half. This is Ben Sutton on the low post. After he misses, he's going to put the shot back in and get fouled. Sutton's first basket has a chance to add the free throw that could get the Goblins within 7. Had a chance, of course, as a lot of you know, listening, what I would call my day job, if you will, is covering basketball here in the Lakes region and mainly in southern Missouri, although Harrison is one of the teams on our Mohawk Sports family, so we're a little familiar with them, but was covering Branson up at the Blue and Gold Tournament. Saw several of the COC teams up there, and there are some pretty strong units. It's going to be a fun COC season. I have a feeling that you guys will be able to see and listen to right here. 29-22. Here's a three at the top of the key. Latham couldn't get that one to go, and a collision as the rebound comes out, and they actually were trying to tie the ball up, but the Goblins take it away, and they have a chance to get even closer here. Lawrence is going to try a quick release three, and he drops it down. Lawrence, as he shot over a Carthage defender coming to him, and all of a sudden, Harrison starts the second half on a 6-0 run. Remember, they got that 3, so this is a 9-0 run for the Goblins, and they have cut the Carthage lead to 4. Tigers really need a basket here badly. They'll try to get it inside to Ray. Double team, and that'll be a jump ball. Arrow will keep it down at the Carthage end. But really, and we talked about this earlier, that three-point play that the Goblins were able to get before halftime really kind of changed the momentum a little bit, and the Goblins have taken that here to the second half. Latham, top of the key. Off a screen, Bernard has it in the corner. He drives in, and he will be fouled as he goes to the basket. Tell you what, Jordan made a nice move there. He got the ball, and instead of thinking about it, he immediately saw there was just a little bit of an opening on the baseline, so he slid right by the defender, and the defender, in trying to recover, actually bodied him out of bounds and committed the foul. That's the second foul on Sutton. First free throw, good by Bruner after the Tigers missed a couple of free throws to start the half. Bruner up to 6. Short on the second one, and we're going to have another tie up. And instead, actually, it's going to be a timeout. Carthage takes the timeout. 5:45 to go third quarter. It's 30-25. Tigers on top. Quick 30-second timeout. We're right back here to Goblin Arena on Music Radio 93.5. Timeout for the Tigers as the ball was loose on the ground off a screen. That's Barrett that misfires on the 3. Goblins pull the rebound down, and after Carthage finally ended the Goblin run. They leave a three-point shooter wide open on the right side. That was Magnus, but he was not able to drop it down. So the Goblins will get the ball back as the long rebound comes out to them. Off the screen, Magnus. This time he travels with the basketball, and we go back the other way. 30-25. The Carthage lead is 5 with 5:18 to go here in the third quarter. Again, for folks listening online at Moark Sports, of course, we do have another game coming up later. Branson and Earl in the title game here. Dual broadcast here to start with our friends in Carthage at 93.9. Inside the lane, shot no good. Missed by Latham. He gets his own rebound, kicks it back out. Here's Bernert for three. That one is just short. And Magnus gets the rebound for the Harrison Goblins on the outlet to Lawrence. And Carthage will back off a little bit as Lawrence will cross the timeline. Man-to-man defense, as we mentioned earlier, and they're going to get a hand check foul here on Latham. A little aggressive there on the defense. Team fouls, and the fouls picking up a little bit here in the second half. That'll be the second on Latham as the Goblins will throw it inbounds. Down 5. They look to post up and left open inside, but unable to make the shot. That was missed by the Goblins. And I tell you what, they had a wide open look in there by Sutton. And Sutton was just not able to connect on it. I think maybe one of the Tigers altered the shot a little bit, but whatever it was, it ended up working out very well. 30-25. It's a 5-point Carthage lead. Latham over to Bernard. He'll try a quick release three, and that one's good. Jordan Bernard. 9 points now for the Carthage senior, and that shoots the lead back to 8. That was a basket Carthage really needed to try to get a little bit of control here again after the Goblins have come out on fire here in the second half. James has it in the right corner. Over to Graham. He's going to try for three. That one is no good. Rebound Latham. Carthage on the run here. 3-on-2 break. Latham kicks it over for a Barrett three. That drops down. Quick 6-0 run. And the Tigers go back up double digits, and timeout called by Harrison. Harrison timeout comes at 3:52 to go third quarter, 36-25. It's Carthage by 11. 60-second timeout coming up right here, right now on Music Radio 93.5. .342 to go here in the third quarter. 36-25. Carthage has built the lead back to 11. And they knocked the ball out of bounds on the press at 3:42. I think they were asking the officials down there if there should be a shot clock reset if Carthage gained possession, but they did not. So they still look to get the ball across the timeline, and they will get a aggressive foul called here on Cooper Jackson. Second foul on Jackson, third on the Tigers here in the third quarter. And inbounding right in front of their bench, Jackson Hill for the Goblins. Off a screen three, high arcing three is good for Chance Lawrence. And that gives the Goblins their first double-figure score, as Lawrence has 10. Lead is down to 8. Little layup. Bruna inside. Try to lay up after a quick pass. And now the Goblins will try to answer, and will with a three as Jackson Hill gets the three. And just like that, it's back down to 5. 2 threes back-to-back for the Goblins, and they pushed it down to 5 after it was 11 just seconds ago. Tigers with the ball, cross court over to Bruna. Top of the key, 3 by Barrett. That one is no good. Rebound to Jackson. Inside, Barrett, 5-footer, is going to be no good. It was off balance and didn't really get a good look at it. Lawrence had it. I guess he had a good look, just didn't have good balance on the shot. Now the Goblins with another long one could really make this interesting at 2:35 to go here in the third quarter. 36-31. Carthage has led throughout, except for a brief period in the first quarter where the Goblins gained a lead. Foul going to be on Landon Ray. They get Ray for a foul on, I guess, the screen, trying to work through the screen. 4th foul called on the Tigers, so from this point on, Harrison gets to go to the free throw line. Goblins have only committed 2 fouls so far. So that could be important as we get to the final couple minutes here of the third quarter. Magnus, quick pass over to Hill. Hill on the baseline. They go across court. Kick it back outside. Free throw line extended jumper will be good. Cooper Graham up to 7 points now. And this is a 3-point game, 36-33. As the Tiger run is now at 8-0, or the Goblin run, after the Tigers had rebuilt an 11-point lead, and now a turnover, and the Goblins could possibly tie it with a long one. Graham to the basket. It's going to be fouled by Latham, and Graham to the free throw line to try to make this a 1-point game. Well, I tell you what, Carthage has had a couple of opportunities here to try to put the game away, and the Goblins just keep coming up with plays, and I think for Nathan Morris and the Tigers, this quarter can't get over quick enough. Graham gets the first one, up to 8 points. Cade Pesker will come in for Latham. One more coming up for Graham. If he can connect here, it's a 1-point game. He does, and it is. 36-35, the Carthage lead just a moment ago was 11. It is now down to 1. 1:40 to go in the third quarter. And Carthage, I've said it before, but I think it's true especially now, they need a basket badly. Ray, top of the key, drives into the lane, has the ball knocked away, kicked back out. Burnett with the 3, on line, but short, and a foul on the rebound. Against Carthage, they're going to get Pesker. So now Harrison walks to the other end with a chance to take the lead at 1:28 to go here in the third quarter. And for folks that are tuning our way on Moark Sports thinking they've got the wrong game because this is the Branson girls game, that is how far behind we are today. Branson girls against Earl will be coming up a little later. We still have over a quarter of basketball left here in the first game. We're covering Carthage and Harrison now tied at 36. And now Harrison gets the lead at 37-36 as Jackson Hill makes both free throws. Goblins with their first lead since the first quarter, 37-36 at 1:20 to go, third quarter. Ray has it, free throw line extended, drives to the baseline, will kick it back outside, Burnett to Jackson. Jackson in the lane, connects. Big basket for Carthage, gets the lead back at 38-37. 1:05 to go, third quarter. All of the boys' games so far today have been close, and this one looks like it's going that way. 3 knocked down from long range. Cooper Lawrence with 13, and the Goblins with their biggest lead of the game at just 2. 40-38, 50 seconds to go. Keep in mind the arrow also favors the Goblins right now. So big possession here for Carthage. Pesker to the lane. Kicks it back out. Burnett being well guarded. Will back it back out. Shot clock at 15 here. Now to 12 as they back it out to reset. Ray hands it off to Bernard. Over to Hill. Inside. The shot by Ray is going to be no good. He was fouled going up to the basket, which gives Landon Ray a couple of free throws here. Landon has 6 in the game.
At the line for the Tigers, number 30, Landon
and
Ray.
a chance to tie the game here. if he can make both. He'll get the first. He has 7. Remember, Landon had a couple of misses earlier in the quarter, and then the Goblins ended up with a huge run extending from the first half. Landon, though, connects both times here as Ray has 8. We're tied at 40 with 20 seconds to go. And no doubt the Goblins go for the final shot. Remember, they have the arrow to start the fourth quarter, so they can do a 2-for-1 here. See if Carthage might be able to sneak a steal in here or something. Down to 10 seconds. James has it. Gets it out to Graham. Clock is down to 4, down to 3. I don't know if the Goblins are going to get a shot off here. They're not. They will not get a shot off. The quarter will end tied at 40 apiece. We have a dandy here, 40-40. As we go to the fourth quarter, we're going to take a 60-second timeout, and the fourth quarter is coming your way next from Harrison as you're listening to Tiger Basketball on Music Radio 93.5. Fourth quarter underway here in Harrison. Third place game of the Lendl Thomas Classic. And we have a dandy. Carthage and Harrison knotted up at 40 apiece. Scott McCauley in for Jim Taylor covering Carthage Tiger basketball for you here. And boy, this has been a fun one so far. Maybe not so fun for the teams. Brody James is going to make a basket in the lane and then a collision afterwards. But both players get up okay, and Harrison's got a 42-40 lead. 7.5 minutes to go. As this one looks like it's going to go down to the wire. A little give and go. Ray inside. He's double teamed. Will try to force the shot up. Tried to get some contact. Couldn't do it. And the Goblins with the ball looking to extend the lead. They have not had more than a one-possession lead in this ball game. Remember, for Carthage in the third quarter was up 11. But now the Goblins have really asserted themselves here. Here's a leaner that's going to be no good. That one missed by Magnus. And it will be Browning with the rebound. Remember, Browning's been out some with some foul trouble. He is back in for Carthage to start the fourth quarter. Looks like the starting lineup is in for Carthage right now as Latham hands it off to Brunner. Browning, Ray, and Barrett, the other players. And a little bit too aggressive for Brody James as he tries to knock the ball away, and it will be a foul on the Goblins. Third foul on Brody James, the junior, for Harrison. And Latham will inbound in front of us, go backcourt to Brunner as they will key things up here. Browning goes over to Brunner as the ball's knocked away by James with the foul. Carthage does get a new shot clock here. It will be Latham to inbound it on the baseline. Looking for help. They have to go out long to Browning. Now Brunner left side. Top of the key, Latham. Latham bounces it to Ray on the right wing. Shot clock down to 20. Still plenty of time here. Brunner will try the quick release three. That's an air ball. I got to tell you something. Where Harrison has adjusted here in the second half is they have really put a lot more pressure around the perimeter, around the three-point line, and the Tigers have not had as many open shots. I'm not saying they're still not hitting threes. They are, but they have to get them off quickly. And if there's any thought, Goblins are getting out there to defend it. Goblins, again, trying for their biggest lead of the game, and they can connect here. Coming up on 6 minutes to go. Free throw line jumper will be no good. And Ray with the rebound. And we have timeout called as one of the Goblins goes down to the ground and is hurt. And I believe they will go to the bench and get Cooper Graham out of there. And he will go get checked on by the trainer.
Foul on the play called on Cooper Graham.
So they actually called Graham for a foul on the play. That's interesting. So Graham gets called for his first foul. That will be team foul number 2 here in the quarter for Harrison. Official goes to clean up the area where Graham and the other player fell. Big possession here for Carthage coming up as they have avoided going down more than one possession. Goblins have had 2 opportunities to do that and can't do it. Now we'll see if the Goblins or the Tigers can connect and get this thing tied or retake the lead. Latham up to Browning, over to Burnett. Burnett goes to the basket, cut off, kicks it back outside to Browning, now over to Barrett. Has the shot clock at 20. Game clock 5:45. 42-40 Harrison. Kick out. Burnett has an open look at 3 and gets it. Perfect ball movement by the Tigers that time. They got Burnett open the 3rd time they got him the ball, and Carthage retakes the lead here at 43-42. At 5.5 minutes to go. Goblins look for an answer at the other end. Off the screen, James has it between the circles. Being guarded by Burnett. Now right wing to Magnus. Magnus in the lane. Kicks it over to the left side. Shovel it inside, and an offensive. Oh, they're going to call a block. Wow. They're going to call a block on Browning. And that basket is going to count for Ben Sutton. Wow, I got to admit, that one looked a little interesting because it really looked like that Sutton kind of dipped the shoulder and leaned into him. But the official's going to say that Browning did not have possession. That's also a big call because that is the 4th foul on Browning. Makes things something that the Tigers are going to have to watch for going down here. Sutton gets a 3-point play, and Harrison back up 45-43 at 5:10 to go here in regulation. Browning on the right wing, holding it over to Latham. They are guarding a lot of the shooters out there as Harrison is putting more man-to-man pressure on now. Ray sets the screen for Burnett, gets it over to Latham. Latham, quick release 3 is going to be off the mark, and Harrison has the ball actually go off of them out of bounds. They were going to let it go, Magnus was, but then, Browning gets over there and tries to grab it, so Magnus tries to get it back from him and ends up throwing it out of bounds. Big break for Carthage there. Latham out to Barrett. He has a 3 that's going to be short. The rebound tipped around, picked up, loose ball, and it's going to go in by Browning. Right spot, right time for Zane Browning. We're tied at 45 at 4:33 to go in the contest. Here in Harrison, Lindell Thomas Classic 3rd place game. All the boys' games have been close here today, and this one fitting the bill. Goblins actually lose the ball out of bounds as it's thrown away. An unforced turnover by the Goblins, and now Carthage with the ball and trying to retake the lead here. As we're approaching the halfway mark of the 4th quarter. Latham gets it up to Browning, off the screen. Back to Latham, another screen. Burnett, 3, it's going to be too hard. Rebound out long and picked up, and it's going to be a held ball. I thought the Goblins were going to try to get a timeout, but the held ball will give it back to Carthage as they end up getting the ball and will now have the opportunity again. That was very close to the Goblin player being out of bounds. It's kind of good play by him, whoever it was, to make sure his foot wasn't on the line. And the held ball will give it to Carthage anyway, but that does get the arrow back to Harrison. Burnett between the circles. Over in the right corner, Latham. Latham with the dribble back to the top as we're now at 3:50 to go. Off the screen, Barrett inside. His shot blocked out of bounds. Rejected by Sutton. 14 on the shot clock. 3:45 on the game clock here as Latham will throw the ball in. Basket left. Oh, miscommunications. They tried to throw it to Burnett, and then the ball was attempted to be stolen by Harrison, and Latham commits the foul. But it was Latham and Burnett that missed the connection there. Burnett went one way, and Latham threw it the other. And another big thing, that is now the 4th foul on Henry Latham. So both Latham and Browning for Carthage has 4 fouls. We're tied at 45, 3:37 to go here in the contest from Harrison. All knotted up, posting up Magnus, backing down Browning. Shot will be no good. Rebound right into the hands of Magnus for the basket. Nope, check that. That's Ben Sutton that gets the basket. Off the rebound, Harrison 47-45 at 3:15 to go. Both teams have 3 timeouts, and I have a feeling they're going to be used, but the Goblins almost get a steal, but they'll get the foul on Magnus instead.
32, Jackson Magnus. That is his 3rd personal foul.
3rd foul on Magnus, 13th foul on the Goblins. With Latham to throw it in right below us here at Goblin Arena. Gets it to the free throw line to Browning. Hands it back to Latham. Over to Burnett. Burnett goes to the basket. Goes in for a layup that goes. Nice move by Burnett to get to the basket. He has 14, and we're tied at 47. 2:55 to go. And timeout called by Harrison. Nope. No timeout called. I thought a timeout was called. And they have just fouled Henry Latham out of the ball game as they call him for a reach-in. So Latham is out, and that means Cade Pesker will have to come in and fill the gap. Latham leaves with 6 points. Had a couple threes early in the ball game. Just some major traffic inside. Bodies flying everywhere. And it was Ben Sutton that comes up with the basketball. And with 2:40 to go, the Goblins back in front, 49-47. Remember, Browning on the floor with 4 fouls, and Latham just fouled out. Burnett. Kickback 3, no good. Rebound to the Goblins. Goblins now, again, a big possession, a chance to go up by more than 1 possession here. They have not been up by that many the entire game. Magnus at the top, gets over to the left side. Dribbling it back out, Lawrence. Remember, Cooper Graham, one of the big kids for Harrison, is out right now, injured. So they have an injury. Of course, Carthage losing a player, 2 fouls. A 4th shot inside, no good. Rebound made by Browning. Down court it goes to Burnett. Burnett off the glass and in. Burnett with a huge basket as the Goblins get a miss. And we're tied at 49 with 1:45 to go. Remember, the shot clock means that we kind of count possessions now. So we're down to 22 on this possession for the Goblins. 90 seconds to go in regulation here. In the lane, the Goblins going to force one up. It's no good. Boy, that was a big miss there by Lawrence. Here's Berman on the rebound. He gets it to Pesker. Pesker saves it, gets it into Browning, and we're going to have a held ball, and the possession goes back to Harrison. Boy, and if you're Carthage, that's one you probably would like to have back because they got just a little ahead of themselves there, trying to get a quick basket. And Pesker did a good job of saving it from going out of bounds, but then Barrett could not get it away from the Goblin. And now 49 all the scores. We approach 1 minute to go in this ball game. Tell you what, we've not had a basket in a while. If the Tigers can get a stop here, things get very interesting. We're down to 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Now to 8. Here's Lawrence between the circles. Shot clock at 5, shot clock at 4, shot clock at 3. Lawrence goes in, throws it up, no good. And we have a rebound and a foul called on Harrison. Kind of a weird sequence there because the shot clock went off, everybody stopped, and all of a sudden Browning had the ball in his hands. And we have 39 seconds. There's only a 4-second difference between the game and shot clock. And you know, Carthage could almost hold it for the final shot here if they wanted to. 49 all the score. We have 30 seconds to go. Shot clock at 23. Let's see if Nathan Morris might take a timeout here. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Timeout, Carthage. 18.7 seconds to go. Our score tied at 49. Quick 60-second timeout right here at Music Radio 93.5. Carthage basketball with 15 seconds to go. 49 all the score. Shot clock is down to 7. Carthage has got to hurry here. They get it to Ray. Down to 3 seconds, down to 2 seconds. And Carthage is barely going to get a shot off, and it's not going to count. 3.1 on a shot clock violation. And so now Harrison with 3.1 to go. And let's see if the Goblins think about a timeout here. I think they may reset the clock and maybe put a little bit more time on the clock here. Goblins will get it on the sideline about 3/4 court, so they don't have length of the court to go. They're going to actually put 3.7, and now it's a Harrison timeout. Timeout Harrison, 49 all the score. Do another quick 60-second timeout. We'll back for the finish of regulation of this one in 60 seconds on Music Radio 93.5. All right, here we go. 3.7 to go. 49 all the score. Carthage does have a foul to give here, so they don't necessarily have to give up the big one here. And Harrison's going to call another timeout here. They wanted to get the ball to the front court. They did just that. And so they're going to take a timeout. I tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to take a 30-second timeout, and then we're back with a final 2.9 right here on Music Radio 93.9. Okay, so 2.9 to go. Harrison inbounding in the front court. So they will have an opportunity now to possibly win the game here in the final seconds. They're going to set a couple of screens. They're trying to get someone open, trying to get someone. They finally get it, and the shot at the buzzer is going to be no good. And guess what, folks? We are going to go to overtime. 49 all, as 4 quarters not enough to decide this one. It is overtime coming up here in Harrison as the Goblins and the Carthage Tigers playing for third place. 60-second timeout, and overtime gets underway next on Music Radio 93. Let's try that again. Music Radio 93.5. We are in overtime here, the third place game of the 36th annual Lendl Thomas Classic. 49 all the score. Scott McCauley here for Jim Taylor tonight covering this game. Neely taking care of the buttons back at Music Radio 93.5. And we're tied at 49. Carthage did win the opening tip-off for overtime, but then Harrison stole the ball as they got it now, and the Goblins looking to take a lead. Push-off called here. Now keep in mind, one thing that does happen in overtime is the fouls do not reset. So we keep counting team fouls from where we did in the fourth quarter. That is just the fourth team foul. So no free throws. I don't know. There was a little confusion. Oh, I think they were looking for the number of the foul. It was on Landon Ray, his second. Remember, down one player for each team. Graham is injured for Harrison, and Latham is fouled out for Carthage. Shot clock down at 25. We're in overtime, tied at 49 here. For folks listening on Moark Sports, yes, we will have the Branson Earls Girls Championship game coming up here in just a bit. And for folks on Music Radio 93.5, we'll have regular programming coming up in a bit. But it's taken a while to get this one fixed here. Down to 9 on the shot clock. Oh, probably a travel gotten away with there. Rebound shot will be put up and in by Ben Sutton after the missed shot. But, boy, I tell you what, I look like Manis took about 3 steps over there and no one caught it. And the Goblins get a break there. 51-49, Harrison by 2 here in overtime. Carthage looking for the answer or to go up 1. And a foul called on Harrison. Now, this will be the 15th foul, so everyone's shooting free throws from this point on. And now a 4th foul call on Brody James. So keep in mind, Graham's on the sideline injured, and now James has 4 fouls for Harrison. Browning with 4 fouls for Carthage, and again, Latham's already fouled out. Brunner at the line shooting 2, and he gets the first. Brunner with 17. He and Barrett, the only double-figure scorers for Carthage right now. One more on the way. That one is no good. So Harrison will hold on to a 51-50 lead here. 2:35 to go in the first overtime. Hill between the circles. Right side to Lawrence. Kicks it back outside. Over on the left. This is Magnus with the ball for the Goblins. Clock is down to 2:20, 15 to shoot here. Backing down. Hook shot will be no good. Rebound picked up by Carthage. Good rebound there by Barrett to secure it. And Jonah gets out of there with it. Now gets it to Pesker. Coming up on 2 minutes to go. It's a 1-point Goblin lead in overtime. 51-50. Now under 2 minutes to play with the shot clock at 20. Barrett hands it to Pesker. Carthage kind of trying to spread the floor a little bit. Barrett off the screen, but not a good pass, so he wasn't able to get the shot off. Now Pesker has the ball taken away, and a foul called on Harrison on the steal. Boy, that was a tough break because Carthage got the play they wanted, but the pass was just a little low going to Barrett. He didn't get a good look and could not square to shoot, so he tried to get it back. When Pesker tried to reset it, he had the ball knocked away from behind. First free throw is no good, though. Off the mark by Lawrence. 1-point lead for the Goblins now. 1:47 here in overtime. Next free throw is no good. He missed them both, but then Carthage can't get the rebound. Browning tried to collect it. It slips out of his fingers, and the Goblins now have a 1-point lead and a new shot clock to work with underneath their basket. Off the screen, they go up top to Magnus. Over on the left side. Goes cross court. Here's a 3. That is good. Boy, that is a huge 3 for the Goblins and Jackson Hill, as Harrison now has a 4-point lead with 90 seconds to go, and Carthage needs a timeout. 54-50 Harrison with 1:34 to go. We're back after 60 seconds. More of overtime here from Music Radio 93.5. 90 seconds to go here from Harrison. Carthage now finds themselves down 4. This is Harrison's biggest lead of the game. Browning tries to throw one up, and it's the player slipped, and now all of a sudden here's Harrison on the run. Can't make the layup, but Landon Ray commits the foul over the back. And I tell you what, if Carthage could get any breaks that are good in overtime, and I'm not talking about missed calls or anything like that, I'm just talking about a break there. A slip of the floor as Browning was trying to go to the basket and then just tried to throw it to someone to help, and he threw it right to a Goblin. Brody James makes the first free throw. You'll have one more coming up. It's a 5-point Harrison lead in overtime. And the Tigers have some work to do now. Second free throw is good by James, who has 4. Tigers down by 6. They need a basket to go, and they don't get that one. And now Harrison with the rebound, and Harrison looking pretty good now. 61 seconds to go, and the Goblins up 6 and heading back to the free throw line. Remember, Carthage had an 11-point lead in the second half of this game, and the Goblins went on a huge run. And even though the Tigers were able to hold on to get it to overtime, Goblins got too much momentum in overtime. And they get a 7-point lead now as Hill rolls in the first free throw. So it looks like now, unless Carthage can make some things happen quickly, the Goblins are going to get a little revenge for losing in the title game to the Tigers last year. Down to a minute to go, and Carthage has got to hurry. They're down 7, 57-50. Tigers need a made basket and quickly. Pesker gets it off to Brunett. Brunett, top of the key, has his shot rejected. He gets it. Ray tries a shot. That shot is good, and timeout called by Carthage. 41 seconds to go as the lead is down to 4. 57-53 is the timeout. And we're back after 60 seconds on Music Radio 93.5. (57-53), 40.5 seconds to go as Harrison throws the ball in after the Carthage timeout.
Foul is on number 31, Jonah Barrett, his second person.
Jonah Barrett commits the foul, and that will put Harrison back at the line. Jackson Hill there, shooting 2. Carthage down to 1 timeout to go. Still will be a 2-possession game, even if he makes both of them. That's why the missed free throw earlier was huge. And still some time to work with here if you're Carthage, but they'll need a quick shot, get the timeout, see if they can get a steal. Hill does make both free throws, and Harrison up 59-53. Goblins going to put pressure in the backcourt, and the Goblins almost get a steal here, but they'll get it back. Carthage will. Pesker throws it in the corner to Burnett. He has a quick release 3 that's no good. Long rebound to Ray. Ray shovels it out to Barrett, who tries a 3. That one no good. And good hustle on the rebound as Cade Pesker gets in there and gets fouled. So he'll have a couple of free throws, but the best they can do is get within 4. I mean, you'll take what you can get here. You do, by doing this, save the timeout if you're Carthage. Of course, key would be Pesker making both free throws here, and he'll miss the first. Still one more, but even a make here. If Harrison's able to get 2 free throws at the other end, that would pretty much put it away. Pesker misses them both. And now it's a really uphill battle as Harrison goes to the line, leading by 6 with 21.8 to go. 4th foul is called on Cooper Jackson. So at the line now is Chance Lawrence, as he'll have a couple of free throws coming up. This would make it a 3-possession game, and he gets it. So doing the math now, only 1 timeout left. A lot of things have to happen. Lawrence makes the second free throw. He's up to 15. Carthage basketball, 15 seconds to go. Ray tries a long 3. It's no good. Second shot is no good. And I believe that Carthage is going to lay off of it here. And Harrison is going to get this one in overtime. Final score in overtime. Harrison knocks off Carthage, and they're actually going to dunk at the end of the game to try to add a basket, but I think they waved it off anyway. 61-53 is the final score as the Harrison Goblins hold on to win this one this evening. 61-53 the final. We are going to start our post-game show coming up next. We will do that after this 3-minute timeout on Music Radio 93.5. Back here at Harrison High School, about to ramp things up for our coverage here today. It was a tough one for Carthage. They led a good part of this ball game, but Harrison grabbed control in the second half. Carthage managed to keep it close and actually got the game to overtime. But in overtime, it was the Harrison Goblins that took over in overtime as they outscore Carthage in that overtime 12-4 and get the 61-53 victory. So we'll tell everyone back at Music Radio 93.5. We'll do a quick scoring recap here, and then we will close out the broadcast. You'll have a few final messages to get through, and then we will, for folks listening on Moark, we will get ready for our next game as the Branson Pirates are going to take on the Earl Lady Bulldogs in the girls' championship game here. Quick scoring recap. For Carthage, 17 points for Jordan Vernon. He actually led all scorers in the ball game. Landon Ray ends up with 11. So did Jonah Barrett. 6 for Henry Latham. And a basket for Zane Browning as the Tigers fall to 3-6. Harrison 5-9 now with the victory. Goblins got 15 from Chance Lawrence, 14 from Jackson Hill, 12 for Ben Sutton, 9 for Cooper Graham, 7 for Jax Magnus, and Brody James with 4. So Carthage, after winning the tournament here last year, they end up finishing this year in 4th place, losing to Harrison in the 3rd place game, 61-53. Well, that is going to wrap up our coverage. As I said, we'll have some announcements coming up before we close things out for you here. I have to say, it's always been fun to help to fill in for Jim Taylor and the folks at Music Radio 93.5. I want to thank Nene for her good work in getting all of our messages from our friends and sponsors of Carthage Tiger Basketball in there. Appreciate her help. Ron and Karen, the whole staff there at Music Radio 93.5. Thank you for letting me work for you for a couple of days. We're going to wrap it up, and for folks listening on Moark Sports, stay tuned because as soon as we wrap this up, we're going to start our Branson Open and get ready for the girls' final here. But for folks listening in Carthage, our final score today, it's the Carthage Tigers losing to the Harrison Goblins. Harrison wins the 3rd place game here, 61-53 over Carthage. Carthage, with their games next week, they'll be playing Central on Tuesday. Then they have a contest coming up against Glendale on Friday. So until Jim Taylor gives you those games, I'm Scott McCauley. We're now bidding you a pleasant good evening from Goblin Arena in Harrison.